let's see here. Oi, come back here. Dream. Pick that up, maybe. Maybe. Come on now. Regard. Hello. Welcome. Gotta get my lo-fi beats up. All right. I started early because it's gonna be a long day. Gonna be a long day on the farm. All right, which one of these do we think has? Is that really the one? Does that really have? Okay. Do you have 100% of the egg? What? Come on now. How can I tell easily whether you have all the egging? You do have all the egging. Never mind. This one has all the egging. I can pick it up and shake the whole thing. There. Look at my beautiful egg cart. Look at that. Look at that. We have room for at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more boxes of eggs up in here. So that'll be a nice little pick them up later. We can pick all them eggs up and deliver them and have omelets. Sheep. Let's check the old. I got some sugar stacked, ready for delivery here. What are we doing here? 93%. We're good on the sugar. We're good on the molasses. We're good on the beet. Well, we're not really good on the beet pulp. Probably need to do that. Dear kitty, hello. Thank you for the hydrate. I will do so here in a moment. I just took a sip before I started the stream and burned my tongue, so I'm going to wait for it to cool down a little bit. All right. So the sugar beets are good. Yeah. Meh. Meh. Aha! We're going to be here in a minute. But first, I want to show you what I did here. Yeah. Look, I built a new shed so I could park all my vehicles in a shed instead of, out in the open. So, yeah. I got vehicles in a shed now. And then we have a lot of bales. And this is even all of it, guys. There's 2 full runs over in the silage facility that need to be lifted. And then I've got 2 and a, third left over here, which, woo, doggy, will be a lot of bales. But we are going to do that after we get some potato planting done. Because our fields are ready for potato planting. I got my potato planter all ready. And unfold the planter. Oh crap, that's right, this thing is wider than that. All right, gotta get this all sorted out. There we go. Lower the planter. Turn on the planter. Here we go. Let's get the potatoes in the ground. There's gonna be a lot of potatoes here, guys. We're gonna have quite a harvest. It's gonna take us, yeah. It's going to be a spuddy harvest. I will tell you that much. to get all 4 of our fields planted up with taters. Going to take a bit. Maybe not as much as I think, but I wanted to start early because I was like, I am going to get the potatoes planted and the silage sorted because, yeah. Because, yeah. That's the reason I got. Because, yeah. Okay. Oh, here's Wolfman. Hello, Wolfman. Welcome in to the potato extravaganza. Thank you for the saxophone there, Ricard. Goes well. We've started potatoing. I started early because we got to potato this field and the other fields, and load a whole bunch of bales into the silage processor. Turn off lift. So I figured start early, get it all done. Lower. Turn on. Oh, Farm Sim. You're like, you must go in this direction because that's the direction we did things. Thank you, dear kitty. Yeah, whatever, Farm Sim. Whatever. Don't really think I want to do a roundy round the field. We'll do like a double headland, and then we'll figure out which direction we're actually going to go back and forth on. These very non-standard fields here in Petite France do make it a little bit challenging. Nearly got lost in Denver. Well, yeah. Denver's a garbage dump. I have opinions about Denver after spending a week in Denver. I have opinions. All right. Yeah, I'm sure you can imagine. I'm sure. Oh, whoop. Back up some more. Gidget. I watched last night. I watched the movie Zulu, which was about the British incidents with the Zulu in the late 1800s. It was it's kind of a sad movie in some respects, and then at the other respects, you're like, "Yep, that's Britain for you." From the perspective of the business, Dare Kitty, it was fine. From the perspective of everything else, it very much showed how sad a country that is one of the richest in the world is. The number of homeless people was truly staggering. And as a supposed rich country, we're kind of failing. We're kind of failing, people. I mean, Britain's no better. Let's not mince things. Britain, Canada, oops, really aren't any better. But I think that's the bulk of my viewership is Britain, Canada, and the United States, and we're all kind of failing people who are less fortunate. But from the perspective of the business, it was fine. All right. Away we go. This is actually going faster than I thought. I forgot I had bought the big potato planter. I thought I had the narrow potato planter, and I was going to be like, oh my goodness, it's going to take me like 5 hours just to plant all my fields and taters. But I got the big potato planter, which also has a built-in fertilizer, which I didn't know it had until I filled it. And then I was like, oh, wow, there's fert in here. That's cool. I do recognize fully that this is going to be an absolute disaster to try to harvest all this, which is why hopefully next week when we do our potato harvest, I will have a helper on board. I hope. I have to remember to package up all my mods. If I'm missing, I am not a libelous, slanderous person, Wolf. I don't know where you get this opinion. The only libeling and slandering I've done so far is against the United States, Britain, and Canada as a combined entity of rich countries doing a terrible job with their less fortunate citizens. My goodness, look at how fast we're using up potatoes. Wow. And we had, this was cost me like $5,000 or something to fill with potatoes. This does not make me happy. Dear Katie, I think you're missing the thrust of my statement here, but okay. How many more weeks? Those of you who are big farm sim people, how many more weeks before the next farm sim is out? And then everybody screams about bugs. Is it 2 weeks? 2.5? No, it's got to be 2 weeks because it's the 22nd. I remember that now because I'm off that week for completely unrelated reason, which is that it's Thanksgiving week. Also, HR hates me and wants me to take more vacation time. Thank you, dear kitty. As soon as I finish this line, I will take 2 drinks because you did put a hydrate in earlier. 2.5 weeks. Okay. So 2.5 weeks plus 1 hour until the first screaming about terrible bugs. All right, let's get a couple drinks. Tasty, tasty black tea that is not from England. Haha. Sorry if I sound stuffed up, but as is usual for me, as soon as I press the go live button, I sneeze. I don't know why, but it seems to be a constant. Every time I'm like, okay, ready to go live, press button, sneeze. I'm like, oh, for goodness sakes. Oh, you're actually buying it, Wolf? I thought you were going to sit on for a while. I am, to reiterate to anybody, not buying Farm Sim 22 on release week. Don't expect that. We will be staying in Farm Sim 19 for a while. That's a good plan, Dare Kitty. It's definitely a good plan. Ah! Jumped out of the tractor. So hopefully everyone had a good week. I had a week. I had a week. Let's do that. Oh, there's a great demand at the Agri Cooperatif. I wonder what they have a great demand for. Probably nothing I have. Mainly because I sell everything. Oh, well. Ivano, thank you for following Triggering the Monkey Pack. Welcome in. Not expecting me ready to stream MP. That makes sense. That makes sense, Wolf. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm going to have to fill the potatoes after every single field. That's going to be fun. Hi, Dus. So like I said, next week I am hoping to have a squirrel. Where? I don't want a squirrel. Not the squirrels. I don't want to chase them. I'm hoping next week to have a farm laborer aboard to handle the potato harvest, because I can imagine the potato harvest is going to be a lot like the sugar beet harvest, which was difficult by myself. So I'm hoping to have the farm laborer involved. We'll see, though. We'll see about the great farm laborer of Wales. I'm doing good, Ivano. I'm doing good. You don't have to go through the middle of the place. Well, that's good, Wolf. So I spent the past week in the heart of Denver, Colorado, literally the middle of town. And that was the most depressing week from a lot of perspectives. Our corporate offices are down there. So I used to go down there a good bit. And a lot of the places I used to go to are no more. They've been closed because of the pandemic. And then the number of homeless people and people that are unable to, take care of themselves or whatever is just ridiculous. It is very depressing. Especially for a rich country. If this was, I don't know, Bangladesh, then okay, whatever. But it's not. It's the United States. The same sort of thing I saw when I was in London last. So it's not like the UK gets out of this. And it's the same thing I saw when I was in Toronto last. So it's not like Canada gets out of this. It's just very, very saddening. I had a good week, and we'll have an even better week because I get a newer semi from the company you work for. Ooh, what are you getting, Rickard? I'm gonna keep changing how I pronounce your name, just so you know, in case you didn't pick up on that. What are you getting? Are you getting like something cool, or are they giving you a quote unquote new semi that's just, semi? All right, let's not hit the tree, because that's not how we roll around here. Usually. Quiet. Can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Tree, I hate you, but I will not cut you down. Yes, Dare Kitty. I'm exceedingly versed in history. It would be my major if I didn't, If I would go back to school, I'm going to get my PhD in history. I'm very well versed. But yes, I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about now. Doop, 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 doop. All right. Is that all of it? Nope. I missed one little spot. One little spot that will be missing its potato. There, not anymore. We have potatoed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, we have potatoed a field. Yay! And yes, I did steal that from the one and only Raven. Except for he says aliens and robots, but I don't think there's any aliens and robots here. Maybe there are. Maybe the aliens are learning how to farm. I doubt it. What area of history was I most interested in? Well... I'm most interested in the application, not necessarily application, but the focus of technology on history, or how technology changed the course of history, or history changed the course of technology. Take your pick, one or the other. For example, coming out of World War II, the application of long-range bombers during World War II led to the development of long-range passenger transit. That was not really feasible prior to the war. I find that exceedingly interesting. Also, the evolution of tractors came about after World War I. They started really growing, and then they became super prolific into World War II because the reduced labor, but also the increased price. So the reduced number of people available for farming meant mechanization was required. And then the increased price of the produced product, so the wheat, grains, etc., meant that the farmers had the capacity to spend money on tractors. And I find it fascinating how that the course of events and technology, how they play off of each other. So pretty much the answer is yes, Ginger. Though if I was forced to choose one era of time to think about, if I had to choose one, see, that would be really, really hard. Because, like, I've done a lot of stuff around World War II, but everybody does World War II. World War II is overdone, in my opinion. World War I used to be underdone, but now it's overdone. I would probably go with, if I had to focus on one area or one particular time period, I'd probably aim for right around the start of the Industrial Revolution, because obviously the application of technology was massive during that time. So probably be where I would focus. All right, let's go with the direction of the furrows that the game seems to be imposing upon me here. My goal really, Ginger, would be to become a history teacher where I wouldn't be dealing with the stupid politics of American schools, but teach it in such a way that it engages people, because everyone thinks history is boring. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people think history is boring because you have to remember dates and blah, 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 blah. I don't really care to remember dates, right? I'd rather remember or teach the impacts, because the history has impacted today. So if I could have a mulligan on my career, I'd probably mulligan and be a history teacher. Instead, I do technology, which, bleh. You're getting a 2014 Scania R450 instead of a clapped out 2004 Volvo. Nice. Nice. Aliens are everywhere, according to some people. Well, Wolf, we don't listen to those people. Remember what we said. We don't listen to the people who talk to their cuffs. Unless they're Secret Service agents, which still don't talk to them. I mean, most people don't really realize that the historical impetus of our stock market dates back to the spice trade era in the Netherlands. They started the stock market. Most people don't realize that. Most people think it was some modern invention, but it's not. It's a modern adaptation of a very old application. Yep, it's insane when you think about it. There's very little that's new. Technology is new, but then the application of the technology, not so much. Have we really evolved that much past the ancient Mesopotamians? No, I hate to say it, but I don't think we have. All right, I don't think we're going to finish this field with this pack of potatoes. Pack of potatoes? Whatever, we're going to go with that. Maybe we will, but wow, we're already down to 27%. That'd be I better get a lot of money out of these potatoes. Like, whoop, that's not driving that field. Not our field anyway. Oh man. My nose is finally starting to clear up after that sneeze right as I started the stream. Yeah, I think we're going to have to probably do a tater fill before we finish this field. I'm feeling the need for a tater fill. Thought about it. Totally right. Yeah. It's you know, they say people who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. The sad thing is we repeat it every day. I mean, our lives are longer and in theory they're fuller, right? In theory, we live longer, more productive, more lives. Great lives, I guess. Did you know that in the late 1800s, when John Smith was writing his great book on capitalism, screw John Smith, he predicted the greatest, thank you for following Ginger and triggering the monkey pack, the greatest threat to the economy in the 2000s would be the fact that we would only be working for 10 to 15 hours a week because technology would greatly improve our lives and we would only have to work 10 or 15 hours a week. I would like to meet the person who only works 10 or 15 hours a week because I don't know them. Because you know what technology did? Technology made it so that everything becomes more important. I don't want to say important because that's a load of crap, but people believe that they have to do things. And yeah, well, then there's the, what is his name? Shoot. I have his book. No, not John Maynard Keynes, because it's not Keynesian economics. It's the Protestant work ethic. And people are like, idle hands are the devil's work. So you have to work at least 60 hours a week or you become evil. And that's not true. Technology only makes it worse. Anyway, do you think that American agriculture can be improved? Well, yes. But it depends on what you mean by improved. It's the thrust of the question that leads to the answer. Can it be improved by reducing its carbon emissions? Absolutely. Should it be improved to use genetically modified organisms that could potentially merge with other organisms and cause super mutant fruit that then attack you? No, don't think so. I guess I'm evil. Well, yes, Ed, you are, but that's accepted. I was like, what is that noise? Oh, it's supposedly raining in the game. Yeah, my tractor's wipers are on. I can barely see it, but whatever. At least we can plant in the rain. See, y'all came to watch farming and you also got a history lesson. How about that? You know, I used to say computers would make it easier on office workers, and it hasn't, because what happened then is they got rid of a whole bunch of people. But every time I come back, I get a history lesson. You get a history lesson every time I stream. Well, that's not true, but most of the times. In the 1930s, there would be secretary pools. There'd be a whole bunch of secretaries. They do all the letters and typing up memos and all that stuff. But then computers came around and they're like, it'll make things easier. People will be able to work less. But what they did instead is they fired all the secretaries and made the managers do all the typing, and that made the managers have to work longer hours. And then they told the secretaries to go get another job. Set them off on a rant. You can have 3 or 4 history lessons per stream. Thanks, Ed. Where's the schedule? So I'm only half of the streaming group here. My wife does the other streaming. She can give you a lesson on history. History. She can give you a lesson on art history specifically. So Mondays, Thursdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Das streams whatever she streams. Lord only knows what she's streaming anymore. I think she's still doing Zelda. Yes, because the Wii is sitting in front of me here. And then Saturdays at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, Das streams whatever, Stardew Valley or something. Tuesdays and Fridays, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, I stream. Tuesdays is the game of choice. Fridays is Fallout 4. And then here on Sunday, usually at 10 a.m., though I started early today because of potato planting, we do Farm Sim. Whee! Dirtus History, Dastas Bakery. Well, Das will give you quite the art history lesson, Wolf. She'll give you bakery lessons too and tips on cooking, but yeah, if you want to get her started on Rubens or Rembrandt or whatever, I don't actually know. Degas, I that's about as far as I can go with art. The limit of my art is I like landscapes and seascapes, and I cannot stand modern art. Modern art can burn in a hole for all I care. Speaking of history in Fallout 4, Fallout 4 is an interesting... Did I just turn off the planter? Dang it. Da Vinci DiCaprio mixed up. Oh my goodness. Fallout 4, when you think about what could have been the evolution of nuclear power, Fallout 4 actually isn't that far off if we hadn't had 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl and a few other issues. Coming from somebody whose master's thesis was on a nuclear accident in Japan. Yeah, I know a little bit about nuclear accidents. And they don't all make you glow in the dark. They make you dead a lot. All right, let's, I think I need to go ahead and fold this planter and go and put more in it. Can I make this turn? Yes. The guy that, the 2 gentlemen that got themselves killed in a nuclear reactor accident in Idaho. Interesting thing is their bodies don't decompose. They were so blasted with radiation, that it destroyed all bacteria, and no bacteria can colonize their bodies, so their bodies don't decompose. It was quite an accident. The guys were standing on top of the reactor doing some stuff when it went, and one guy got pinned to the ceiling of the reactor building with a uranium rod. So yeah, they had to bury them in lead-lined coffins and the coffins weighed 1.5 tons. That's how much lead they put in there. And they still could only be, once they buried them, they then had to bury the forklift they used because it was giving off so much radiation. You want to not decompose? Well, Diamondback, there is another way to do that. That's to become a vampire, but isn't dignified, but an epic way to go out. Yeah. Well, the way he got pinned to the roof, was the steel bar went in his scrotum and out his shoulder, and they actually found one of his testicles about where his shoulder was. So, yeah, it was one way to go out. Listening. On the bright spot, he wouldn't have had time to register what happens. It was microseconds and he was dead. So I need to hear Bleach thanks to that. Yeah. The moral of the story is do not stand over a reactor control rod. That's the moral of that story. Do not straddle a reactor control rod. Just saying. If you were offered eternal life, would you actually want to take it? Not that you become a vampire. Yeah, don't straddle the reactor control rod, Diamondback. It's not a good idea. Not that you become a vampire or a werewolf or anything like that, but you'd have eternal life. Would you actually want to do it? A lot of people say yes because they're like, yeah, I want to live forever. And then they forget it does mean that all of your friends and family are going to die. Do you still physically age? I say we lock in your age at, I don't know, something vibrant and capable, like, I don't know, 35. Maybe 30. 30 is probably a better one. So wherever you were when you were 30, you get retrograded back to that physical state, and you don't age and you don't ever die. I've thought about it. I was like, what would I really want to do that? And I think my answer is yes, only because then I could keep reading more books. Ed, that makes perfect sense that you would want to do it just to be the guy to yell, "Get off my lawn" for centuries. It's not exactly what happened to Air Kitty, but yes, I know about the Russian ship that blew itself up. My partner didn't stay immortal. I don't think so. But if he randomly died before I was offered this, hell yes. Yeah, that's especially one where you'd be like, right? Like, my partner's already gone, so eternal life would be boring. Well, yeah, we know you're super cynical, Diamondback. I don't think we'd offer it to you. No, I'm kidding. Oh God. I've made a disaster out of that part of my yard. Oh well. Wait, no, I want it. Yeah. I think it'd be amazing to be able to travel. Like, you could travel and see the world and watch the change and cultures and stuff. But then I think about already today, I'm like, some of these new things that come out that people are all like hyped about, I'm like, please no. Like, I think in about a century, I'd just be like, okay, you people just need to stop. Just stop. Want cool VR tech that's way more high tech? Yes, the old vomit regularly technology. Everyone's flying car going outer space. You're driving a 140-year-old Dodge pickup running off moonshine. Wait, isn't that what you drive already, Ed? I'm not taking the bait, dear kitty. You're so incorrect, but I'm just gonna let it roll. Close enough. The one time I would say I would want eternal life, and hear me out on this, Diamondback. Hey, Phoenix, how's it going? We're talking about eternal life and whether we actually want it. The one time I think I'd want eternal life is to then get in a spaceship and go to Alpha Centauri. Ah, Nix wants eternal life. Diamondback says they are too cynical for eternal life, and I kind of believe that. But to get on a ship and go off to some far off distant land, I think that would be cool. And then they wouldn't have to try to freeze me because I don't want to be frozen. I don't like being cold, or at least not that cold. And then we don't have to wait for FTL travel in order to get there. Why, thank you, Ed. I mean, that makes sense, Phoenix. The one thing that a lot of people, kind of cringe about is the thought of, not having any family or friends left because all the ones you have now are dead. But then I kind of think about it and I'm like, but couldn't you just make new ones? I would think you'd just make new friends and, okay, maybe you don't make new family, but whatever. That's not the point. If I die, then I die. I've had a good run then. I mean, that's a way to look at it too. Save some of their hair until cloning becomes mainstream. Yeah, well. But cloning is never true cloning. But you're right, Nix. It's strange that we are such short-lived beings, yet our brains give us this desire to do things that there's no way we can fit within the lifetime we have been given. It is quite interesting to think about that. Like, what if Einstein had had eternal life? Like, what else could we have come up with? Could we have maybe not ended up in a world where the most important new thing is a new iPhone? Nobody should freaking care. It's a phone, but we're left with, that's the most amazing thing in the world. It's not. It's a phone. You put it in your pocket. Who cares? You want to see the real effect of a nuclear device on the Richter scale, dear Katie? Look up the Castle Bravo test. A ship getting even a 4.4 when it went oops is not a big deal, realistically. 4.4s are nothing. Ed? Really? You want to remove the nagging chip? You know what? You just have to find the right woman. Das doesn't nag. If you really, but it doesn't make them family. You choose your family just like you choose your friends. If you can create a new family, get new friends. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, it's extremely true. I can't tell you how many friends me and Das have. There's not very many of them, but how many friends we have that are promoted to family, right? Sometimes you meet people, they start out as friends, and then later you promote them to family. Just gonna do it the first time we ask. I mean, that is the way to do it, Ginger. I have the advantage that Das just forgets she asked me, but whatever. She doesn't look like... Well, Ed, maybe you need to move, my friend. Maybe you need to move. And then there's those friends, Nix, that they're like the... Oh, Das has a name for them. It's the kind of friend that isn't just going to, be there to help you, but they're going to help you bury the dead bodies level of friend. Don't hit the tractor. All right, Ricard. See, I changed your name again. I'm just going to call you Dorith. No, I won't, because I'll forget that. I'm a mess. I'm a terrible streamer. And those are the rare ones, right, Nix? Like, you got the friends, and then you have that level of friends. And when you find that level of friends, that level of friend is probably the first one promoted to family. And I have met people that are friends that you would swear they are family. They should have been family because they're like their actions and their acts are exactly like your family. And you're just like, what? Thank you for following, Tanner. Welcome in. Thank you for triggering the monkeys. Monkeys are always happy to have new friends. Sorry if the nose snot noises come across. I don't know what it is. I had a cold like a week and a half ago, and then I sneezed before stream, and my nose is just like, I feel like rebelling, so nah. Well, you want them to be rare, right, Nix? I would not want a bunch of people that are like that. I'd be like, that's weird. Are you all... what are they in Fallout 4? The robots. Synths? Sins. We call them sins when we play. We kill the sins. And there were 7 deadly sins in a room that we opened up a couple weeks ago. And we killed all 7 deadly sins. Ha! See what I did there? Jokes. jokes, terrible jokes, but jokes nonetheless. Honesty, truth. Yes. Yeah, those kind of friends. Yeah. The biggest thing I have is they're people that I'm like, you'd be a cool friend. And then all they want to do is complain. That's what they want. They want someone to complain and then save them from their own bad decisions. And I'm like, I'm willing to help you a little bit. Willing to listen to you. But if your life is really that bad, maybe you need to make a change. Maybe you need to, I don't know, walk away from that situation, not be there, not do that. Why is this field such a mess? I don't know, but it is. Well, I will say, Nix, I have seen this, that especially if people age or if something tragic happens, like that can change real quick. Or if I've seen this where somebody has cancer, and that especially can change somebody into a very toxic person, especially if it's an aggressive form. Or the thing I fear the most, which I'm lucky in that it doesn't affect males very much, but it's still the thing I fear the most, and that is dementia. Like that, I've seen that. I saw that take my grandmother, and that is the scary thing. Well, Ginger, I kind of looked at it as the, circle of life, I guess, to bring up a bad 1980s Disney cartoon, which strangely is in the top 250 movies of all time. I don't know how Lion King made it there, but whatever. Yeah, but she had a good life, and she was. There's some things my grandmother did that I think everybody should. I believe everybody should do. She said until she got pretty bad, every year she did one thing that scared her. At like 70 something, she learned how to swim. She didn't know how to swim, so she learned how to swim. She was scared of drowning. She was scared of water, so she learned how to swim. At 50 something, she got a motorcycle license and went on a motorcycle road trip because motorcycles scared her. So she was like, I got to do it. I'm like, you know what? That's a lifestyle to live by, you know? Well, she did that her entire life, Diamondback. Yeah, that was something that she did her entire life. It's just, because obviously the older she was, the more I remember for obvious reasons, because she was my grandma. Yeah. But I will say And I told this to my employees, the people I manage, that if you wait until you're retired to do the things you want to do, you'll never do them. So just go do them. And that side of my family, yeah, she was one thing. My other grandmother, um, as she finally left the farm at 85. But even at 85, she could shoot the head off a copperhead at 50 yards with a rifle. And she used to go and hand feed the neighbor's bull because she's like, he's a sweetie. And he was the same bull that would charge everybody that entered the pen. And she'd just go in the pen. And if he got ornery, she'd grab him by the nose and just be like, you behave yourself. And funny enough, that bull listened. Yeah, totally, Ginger. Like, I can't tell you how many people I know that were like, you know what, when I retire, I'm going to travel the world. And then they get diagnosed with cancer or, have a heart attack or something like that. And it's like, well, they wanted to, but they never did it. And now they never can. So, yeah, I told all the people that report to me that I better see them take vacation. And I told them if I don't see them taking vacations, I'm going to order them to take vacations, and they're going to have to send me their vacation itinerary. We want maximum potatoes, so I'm going to get every corner. Life moves too fast. Worry about meaningless, pointless things. That is very true. Yep, you're totally right, Nix. The other thing we worry about is everyone's like, oh, you have to save for retirement. You have to save for retirement. And I'm like, why? You got to save all this money in order not to work, or you alternatively could just, do odd jobs to have money. Or if you don't have kids, and even if you do have kids, you could just be like, hey, when I'm dead, the kid's gonna have to pay up the bill. Or if you don't have kids, it's, what is the bank gonna do? If you have no money, what are they gonna do? Nothing is the answer to that. They have no recourse. Nothing they can do. What are you going to do, bank? I have no heirs and I have no money. Ha ha. I was talking to one of my clients and I was saying pretty much the same thing about how, now's the time to just go and do it because you'll regret it if you don't. And she was kind of quiet when we were talking about it. And then we went on break and we came back from break and she's like, hold on. I need about 5 more minutes. And we're like, oh, okay. What are you doing? And she goes, oh, I'm booking myself a trip to Paris. We were like, okay, cool. That works. People having kids because they think they can take care of them when they're old makes me want to scream. Yes. Let's have the kid so that when we get old, we can then mooch off the child. Ha 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 ha. Exactly, Ed. Don't have kids and accumulate massive amounts of debt. What are they going to do? What is the bank going to do if you have $1 million of debt and no kids, no heirs at all, no money? The bank's going to go, well, crap. See, maybe my real line of work is to be a history teacher and a life coach. Wolf, welcome back. Your debt doesn't, but a lot of times it depends on the debt. Let's put it that way. They can, if the bank can show any linkage between your child or your heirs and they can at times go after their money. So we had a friend. I wish I'd taken him up on the offer. He wanted to teach me how to be a farrier. That would have been amazing to be a farrier. But he had a massive heart attack and the medical bills and everything. And when they looked into it, if they died, because their daughter was on all of their accounts, then the banks actually would be able to go after her for all the money, including her accounts that they weren't on, because it sort of implies co-signatory, which I think is a load of garbage. But that's the American way, right? Whee. Fill up with taters again. More taters. Thank God I got taxpayer health care in Canada. Yes. Taters. Yes, America is a disaster, isn't it, Nix? I was just I was talking about it with a couple of people I work with. This year has been a bad year for my general team, meaning both people on other teams within our division and within the team I manage, with dads passing away. And do you know, America, because we're such a great and loving and first world country, if you don't pick up the sarcasm, you're missing out, will actually take away Social Security from an elderly lady until you can prove that they deserve the Social Security check that was being paid to their husband. They will take away the money from their bank account in arrears, meaning they're like, oh, they died 6 months ago. Well, we want our last 6 months worth of pay and you're not getting any more. They will dock it out of their accounts. And then you have to fight to get it put back and to get any money. Yeah. Yeah, sadly, I am serious. And also, pension funds do the same thing. Yeah, isn't that great? And banks, oh my God. Apparently, banks will just block access to an account that has a dead person on it. Even if there are other people who are alive on the bank account, they'll just say, nope, can't get access to that because this person's dead. So thankfully, the two people that have had that happen this year, both are employed at a company that pays very, very well. And so they basically had to float their mother for many, many months while they fought with the U.S. government and the the life insurance and the pension funds. Never mind health insurance, which is a whole other fiasco over here for people. Don't you just love the world? It's not the world, Nix. It's not the world. Sadly, it's America. That's the sad thing. Like, as Wolf points out, like in the UK, they sorted that out. I know in Canada, because I have several people that I know that live in Canada, because I did a lot of work in Montreal and Toronto. Not really a problem they would think about. Oh, other issues? Well, yes, other issues. You're saving up to go to Mexico. You know what I actually heard, Ed? And this is true of anybody. What I heard, Costa Rica, really great place to go. I was reading up on Costa Rica because they want to go carbon neutral by 2030. And they're most of the way there. And apparently is a really nice place to go. Yes, I've heard Belize is nice too, yes. Yeah, Wolf. I wish that was like that here. Like it was to the point that I know at least one person technically committed a federal crime by pretending to be their father in order to get information that would not be released to anybody except for said father who was dead. Which is like totally Kafka-esque, right? Like we only release this to this person. That person's dead, but we only release it to that person. Another great place to go. Another planet away from this one on your own. The ultimate homestead. That would be the ultimate homestead. You know what I found interesting? Because I was just reading a book about, I am currently reading a book about the Atlantic. It's like a history. It's like a biography of the Atlantic, which is kind of a funny way to look at it. Because how can you write a biography of an ocean? But whatever. And it got me to thinking about how when my great grandfather stepped aboard the boat in Antwerp, Belgium, after his horse and cart or foot walk from Luxembourg, he didn't have anything more than a passport and a desire to go to Canada. Well, technically America. He ended up in Canada. Really weird. Whatever. But he just was like, yeah, I want to better my life. I'm like the third son of a family and I can't do anything here. And so I'm going to go to America. Well, to the Americas. And nowadays, if I wanted to go to Canada, let's just say, a ridiculous amount of paperwork and gunk to prevent you from doing it. And I'm just like, why did we decide that this is the way it needs to be? Well, no, what happened, Ed, is he boarded a boat that went to Ellis Island. But he didn't enter there. He transited to a different boat that went to New Orleans. And he entered the United States in transit, took a riverboat up the Mississippi to Minnesota, and then he got on a train that took him up to Winnipeg, where he met up with his cousin who was homesteading in the Saskatchewan area. And he tried to be a farmer and he failed really badly. So then he got on a train and went back to Minneapolis, St. Paul and became a machinist. But whatever, that was because he was a machinist in Luxembourg, but that's neither here nor there. But he became an American only after hanging out in Canada for a while. And it didn't matter. Like, oh, okay, you're tired of being Canadian. You want to be American. Okay, fine, whatever. Come on. I find it fascinating that we've seemed to decide that that's a terrible thing. We don't want these people coming to work in areas we don't want to work on. But maybe I'm just crazy. I mean, I am crazy. We all know this, but we're actually going to be done with this pretty soon. Yay! Done with our last one. Aren't we all crazy in some way? I am anyone who claims to be sane, Nix, I give them a wide berth. Because if you claim to be sane, you have to be crazy. Absolutely bat crap crazy to claim that you're sane. That's my philosophy. Nope, didn't go back far enough. That's just facts. Yes, exactly. Tree, you're going to get cut down because you're always in my way. What's a sanity? Yeah, exactly. What does it mean to be crazy? Oh, thanks, Diamondback. I don't think there's such a thing. You know what? Crazy, the concept of crazy is actually often derived from the idea of being hysterical. And I'm assuming that some people know where hysterical came from, but hysterical is derived from the same word, the same place that hysterectomy is derived from, which leads back to the uterus. So originally only women could be crazy or hysterical because they had uteruses. I don't know what the plural of uterus is. Uteri? Only because women have uteri. We're going to go with that as the plural for uterus. And men could never be hysterical. Men also could never have PTSD or anything like that because they, blah, 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 blah. So crazy is really that going down that road of trying to other people because of their gender or other reasons. Why everyone wants to be labeled? Well, I want to be labeled as a nice person. Though my coworkers refer to me as an arsehole, but whatever. That's not the point. When they are non-sociologically typical, maybe. I have a problem with that because who defines the sociologically typical is usually the historically has been the white male who has a lot of money and usually a vested interest in othering people because then he can pay them less. If I fit 2 of the 4, do I count? Probably not, Ed. The problem, Ed, is where you live, you would be considered non-sociologically typical just because you live in Appalachia. Everyone has a code they live by. It's true. The hope is that our code is something that everybody, can agree with, like, don't be a dick. That's my code right there. Don't be a dick. Well, morality has an interesting definition because that's a good code there, Ginger. That is definitely a good code. Moral and amoral has a particular link. Interestingly, do you know that the Hindu god of destruction, who craves human sacrifice, is also the Hindu god of motherhood? Consider that one. Is she amoral or moral? Duality is one thing that the Hindus do a very good job with, is duality. Moms are fierce. That is true. Take care, Wolf. Thank you for hanging out. One thing I have done in my downtime, because I'm one of those people who read lots of books, is I have read the Hindu and the Buddhist and the texts like the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Hindu text. I've read the Quran, the Bible, etc. And I read a lot about Native American and other animalistic mythologies. And realistically, it all boils down to what I said originally. Don't be a dick. Really what it boils down to. Just don't be a dick. Yeah. Like, and if you mess up, fess up, right? Like, I made a mistake. Sorry. I apologize. Learn to forgive and forget. Gives chance to be kind. Yep. I'm helped out in the forgive and forget part, Nix, because I quite honestly forget all the time. Just straight up. If it's not a fact I read in a book, I'm just like, huh. I had someone apologize to me for something they said, and I said, really? Did we have a conversation that day? They were like, you don't remember when I said whatever? And I was like, nope, don't remember. So consider it forgiven and forgotten, because it's already forgotten. Kind of going back to what you said earlier, Nick, life is too short to think about things that bother you too long. Like, if I can't do anything about it, okay. Like, I can't change what that person thinks of me or whatever. Okay, whatever. I got other things to think about. Darn it, I thought we were done, but there's a big chunk of the field left to go over there. Dope. The potato planter does not do a good job with these hilly fields. Oh, totally, Ginger Jingus. Especially accepting and adjusting your ignorance. Yes. But at the same time, accepting people who are ignorant or who make an honest mistake. I'll share something that happened many years ago, back in the before the pandemic destroyed the world. I went to PAX Prime one year. Me and Doss went to PAX Prime. We actually went a couple years. And when I was speaking to somebody, I didn't say, talking about this other person, he or she. I said they, because that's what I do, right? I use they a lot when talking about other people who I don't know what their identity is, because they is a safe, neutral word. And they got pissed off, so angry, because I was marginalizing them by not using Z or Q or something. I don't remember. And I said, well, unless you have that on your name tag, I don't know how you expect me to know. And they is a neutral word. And then they tried to argue about what they meant, which is a bad idea to do someone who has a master's in English, because then I had to go down the difference between a connotation and a denotation, and then they got angry and walked off. But my point being, people don't know what they don't know, and you have to accept it and go, you know what? I actually don't go that way. I prefer this word or that word or whatever. Just saying. The whole ignorance thing, that's what made me think of that there, Ginger Dingus. Taking a while to get. My go-to gender neutral is dudes. Yeah, I just go with they. Partially, it's because my second and third languages have no gender neutrality in them. Spanish and French, there is no gender neutrality, right? Like a chair has a gender. If a chair has a gender, we have a problem here. We're going to have a little issue managing people. So I go with they because it's the best I can do. Though in French and Spanish, of course, they is genderized, but whatever. I do what I can. Now, Das, who speaks some German has a neuter. So, I think is it der or das? One of the two 3-letter words that we're using at the beginning. I think it's das. Yeah, it's das. Is a neuter because D-I-E or D would be the female, but most Americans would read that as die, so we just don't bother. So German has that gender neutral, which is nice. Makes it a little bit easier. Oops, wrong truck. There's the right truck. I prefer the term animal myself. That works too. I don't think it's a horrible habit, Nix. Because here's the thing. As long as you're saying it with, I don't want to say love, but because, again, English does a very bad job of managing the grays. So if you read back to the old Greek where love comes from, there's actually multiple words for love and they mean different things. And so when I say, as long as you say dude or man to somebody in the attitude of love, I mean in the old Greek term for the love of a fellow human being, then I think it's fine personally. But I also get yelled at for using they. So what do I know? I do like that Spanish is working towards the gender neutral, because that would be so helpful. Oh, I get it, Case. I mean, that's perfectly fine as well. Is this going to work? I have no idea if this is going to work. I can't remember if this worked last time or not. We're about to find out. Yes, it did. Okay, good. I prefer not to offend people unless I have no option. Like if somebody is visually identifying in a particular gender and I don't know any better, you can't, whoopsie, you can't expect me to know any better, right? That's my philosophy. But I'll do my best. I do my best. I'll probably fail, but that's the best thing about being a human. We fail and we learn from our failures. And then we hopefully get better. Select tool. Fasten that on. There we go. Exactly, Ginger. Oh, that's true, Case. Two people will sooner or later have a disagreement, but the real thing is being gracious and loving in that platonic definition of the Greek word of love to the other person. You know, as long as we respect them and that, we can have a disagreement. Today's world, people get offended just by being looked at anymore. It's true. It's true. It is very true. And very sad. Like we should be... Do I need to go over there? Yeah, I do. Well, no, actually this way is the best way. We're going to deliver milk to the cheese factory because we're in France. So we have to have cheese. The stinky kind. Preferred. Okay, I'm not going to make that turn. Okay, where am I going? All right, that's fine. Where's my little... Nope. Oh, there it is. I'm looking for the little green thing, and it's sitting right there on that white, and it's almost impossible to see. Oop, other way. Deliver a few thousand gallons of milk to the cheese factory here. Oops. There. Now we have to enter the cheese facility. Here we go. Selling our milk. Woohoo. That'll be a lot of cheese. There we go. 7,621 euros worth of milk to become tasty, tasty, stinky cheese. To completely change the thrust of the conversation here, has anybody ever had Limburger cheese? Just curious. Negative. All right, Ed, take care. Enjoy your run to the store. I would suggest, Ed, that maybe you drive instead of run. But, I mean, you do you, dude. You do you. Limburger cheese is like really stinky cheese. But it actually has a taste to it. It has a tang, a twang, maybe. Yeah, Nix, I hope it doesn't take 5 years. I have to say the thing that the one thing about the COVID, we call it the at work we say that COVID causes arseholism. Honestly, the thing that we that I have found, the good thing is, with all these people being all upset and whatever, is those of us who don't get upset over everything and anything, like, we're viewed much differently by service staff. So I went to, this past week, I was in downtown Denver because of work. So I stayed at a hotel downtown because otherwise it's a very long drive to get downtown for me. And we also might have been drinking until 2 a.m, but whatever. But when I got to the hotel, even though it was after check-in time, the room that I had gotten wasn't available. And so the woman was all apologetic. I was like, okay, cool. That's fine. I'm just going to run to my office. It's just down the road here. So, just give me a call whenever it's ready. And she's like, wait, really? I'm like, yeah, no problem. And she's like, you're serious? I'm like, yeah, I'll see. Just give me a call whenever it's ready. I'll come by, pick up the key. And she's like, okay, thank you a lot. And because you've been so understanding, here's a coupon for 5 free drinks. And I was like, cool. And that's happened multiple times where just because I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, people are just like, okay, I was all ready to fight with you and now you're just chilled out. Here, have something free. Exactly, Diamondback. It was like, free booze? Yes, please. But that's what I've found, that more and more, if I'm just like totally chill like that, people are just like, okay, yeah, how do I react to somebody who's totally just chilled out? And it's funny how people, they don't know how to react anymore because they're just like, what? You're chill. All right, there we go. We got this truck full. Move into transport position. Someone who works in service, COVID brought out the absolute worst in people. Yeah, I don't even work in service, right? I provide software to broadcast. I work in software broadcasting. I provide software to broadcasters. And they're jerks too. They have become the biggest bunch of jerks. And yeah, same thing. It's like when we have customers who are nice, we're like, hey, we'll go the extra mile for you. You know what I feel bad for, Nix? People whose name is actually Karen or Ken, right? Because the male is the Ken, right? I think. I feel bad for those people. Like, especially the good ones that are really nice, but their actual name is Karen or Ken. It's like, I feel so bad for you. Kyle? Is it Kyle? I can't keep up. Yeah, it's so I got a slightly new position at the company and I now manage our support team. So like you, Ginger, I get to be that person. I'm sorry, did you just yell at my support person? Because if you yell at him again, I'm going to go talk to your EVP. Do you want to play my game? Because I can play your game and it's much harder. Or my favorite that I had to use recently on a particular loudmouth was, if you continue to yell at my support team, I'm going to have them deactivate your access. And then it's up to you to figure out how to tell your boss you can't do your job because you yelled at the support staff. Unload the bales. Nope, other way. Whoop. Nope, not that far. And there. Beautiful. Yep. Yes, it is savage, but I just, yeah. they used a particular gender defining statement at one of my staff members, and I just don't play that. It's like I cut people a lot of slack, but as soon as you go there, oops, you've gone past a big glowing red line with flashing lights. Cartel, hello, how's it going? Ginger, Doss's favorite bumper sticker she ever saw was on the back of a septic truck that said, "Satisfaction guaranteed or your product happily returned." And I think that pretty much sums it up right there. I'm good, Cartel. I'm going to call you Cart. Or Kurt. It'll end up being Kurt, but you know. You get what you give. Exactly, Case. Exactly. Cart will be fine. Okay. It'll be messed up and I'll mispronounce your name multiple times. You can ask Rickard or Richard or Darth or Dirth or Rickard Dirth. Either way, his name is never the same twice. I'm a terrible streamer. I can't say the person's name the same every time. All right, let's get these bales delivered. My goodness, a lot of bales. Yeah, I get you. Well, that's because you happen to have a name that is based on a tractor. And we're in a farming game. If I couldn't figure that one out. I mean, I could be I mean, there is the what is it? The Marcy Ferguson? I only say that because if Brew is here, he'll say something, but he's probably not here. Nice, Ginger. That, you know what? It's feedback is always construed one way, right? If you like somebody or something, like a business or whatever, a lot of people don't give feedback. They only give feedback. They post their feedback online. I'm going to give you feedback online. And they only do it if they're mad at you. I love going online and giving like 5-star reviews. I call you Ollie all the I do, don't I, Rumsey? I call Rumsey Ollie all the time, and then I call Ollie, which, you know, just is great. I have 2 Ollies, and they're not 2 Ollies. Way too relaxing. It is relaxing. It lets you talk about all kinds of fun stuff, Nix. Right up until the point I get a truck stuck in something that I shouldn't get it stuck in. Then it becomes a little bit less relaxing, but that's just because I'm an idiot. Speaking of, I'm in a point where my truck is not going the direction I want it to go. There we go. Unload the bales. Doink. There we go. If I played this game, I'd fall asleep. Yeah. It's a game I play when I need to just chill. Or when I want to sit here and talk to y'all and have great conversations about life and the universe and everything. I will say that since I do a lot of 5-star reviews for people, like a lot of businesses, and even if it's a 4-star review, right? I'll give them a 4-star review because I'll say, you know, this is where they need to improve or whatever. I get a lot of feedback from the businesses. I've become friends with an owner of a bike store because I put a review for his bike store, and he has people who, and it was years ago, like 8 years ago, I did this review, and he says he still gets phone calls where they ask for him by name because I mentioned him in the review. And he's like, people ask for him by name and they're like, yeah, I saw this review that was done and you did such a great job. Can you help me out? And he goes, it's brought a lot of business. So he also gives me discounts on stuff because he's like, you've brought in more business than I could ever imagine. You have a question, Nix. Nix, what is your question? Did I see the political post I did? I saw something, Case, but I have to be honest, I didn't really understand. Because, yeah. And I get a lot of feedback from the hotels that I review. They really like it. I got free booze at another hotel because I did a really nice review. And they must have posted it or something at the hotel because I went to check into this hotel again. And when I gave them my credit card and everything, and they looked at it and they were like, hold on a minute. And then they came back and they were like, you wrote this really great post. We really, really appreciate it. We're going to give you an upgrade and here's a voucher for 2 free drinks. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll take it. EF Spock, hello, how's it going? Welcome in. Picture of your manure storage. That does explain it, Case. That does explain it. So my thinking is, if you get good service at a company, write a review. You never know. It could be what that company needs to stay in business. You might get something out of it, but then again, you might just get the warm fuzzies of knowing that you're going to help that company. Do you believe in other life forms? We would call them aliens. Yes. I mean, I believe there are other life forms. Now, the way you position that question, however, Nix, does make it presume that you're looking at intelligent life forms, but I believe that there are a lot of, cyanobacteria or cytobacteria, stuff like that out in the cosmos. A lot more than the chance of a lot of intelligent life forms. And if there's a lot of intelligent life forms out there, I'll promise you they're avoiding this planet. Right now, whoa, hello. Right now, I can promise you that the intelligent life forms are like, yep, just avoid Earth. It'd be like us avoiding in the U.S. Detroit, for instance. Nothing against people who live in Detroit, but ugh. Does other life forms include the ones in certain cities on this planet? It was only relatively recently that we discovered that here on Earth, there are. It would be plural because is singular and are is plural. But whatever, there are life forms that do not need oxygen to live. Down by deep smoker vents down in the Pacific Ocean and areas like that. They're finding cyanobacterias. So the chances are when we get to Triton, we will find that there is life there. Now, whether we recognize it in the same, if the average person, sorry, I thought my horse was stuck in the ground, but he's not. The average person's gonna be like, well, that ain't life. Sorry, anybody who has a Southern accent, but it's going to be a Southern person who says it first. And I can do that because Das has a Southern accent. But they're going to be like, that ain't life. But it is. And people should be excited about it. But people are going to be too busy being excited about the iPhone 15, right? Wait, 13? What iPhone number are we on? I saw a sign for it. It made me want to barf. Doesn't really matter. I can't stand the iPhone. Oh, there's definitely signs of bacteria on Mars. I would totally. iPhone hasn't been exciting in a decade. Yeah. You'd think that, but holy cats. Another reason I want to live forever, find cool stuff in space. Yes. I want your iPod Classic. Remember the iPod Shuffle and when that came out? And how excited everybody was? Everyone was like, oh, the iPod Shuffle. Oh, totally, Nix. Totally. It's another one of those. If I could do a mulligan, it's like my first thought is mulligan on my life, my career. I would want to be a history teacher, right? But then I might mulligan the history teacher and be like, yeah, I want to be an astrophysicist. My question with the aliens is if they are real, how are they not erased us from existence? Like I said, Case, they treat it like Detroit. They just avoid it. The magic plants. Fungi. Yes. They're perfectly legal here. Well, in parts of Colorado, they are perfectly legal. Yeah, I had a shuffle for like a hot minute, Diamondback. But I lost it. And I really wish I still had it because you're right. Like running or anything like that, the shuffle is so much better. All right, now we get to play games with this equipment. This will be fun. And let's get this up out of the way so I can get everything lined up properly. There we go. What I want to do is pick it up and put it on top of the other one. So I can pick up 3 at a time. And then we just have to drive very carefully because that top one isn't going to come off. This is Petite France. I believe in UFOs because what it stands for and the fact that one time the B-2 and the F-117 were UFOs. I mean, that's true. For a time, any vehicle that is unidentified or unidentifiable is technically a UFO. So there you go. Ginger, it's really easy. You just go with it. You can ask the laughing hyenas in my chat, which would be led by Case in this case. I can be absolutely unbelievably terrible with this, but I've gotten better in time. No, that is not going to work. I do find it's easier to do in cab than anything. I have what? What, Case? What are you trying to say? I have gotten better. Case, go watch the YouTube videos from back in Farm Sim 13. That's all I can say to that. I mean, granted, back then the bales flew in the air too, but whatever. I believe in UFOs. I believe there's intelligent life form. Yeah, I keep hoping. I keep hoping that there's going to be an intelligent life form out there that preferably rescues me from the stupid that is the Earth. I mean, whether that ever happens or not, who knows, but see, now I got to concentrate a little bit here. Did you miss anything? Ricard, we just said your name 16 different times as usual to prove a point. Take one look at us and obliterate the planet. Or, and here's my prevailing theory to kind of go off of Nick's, because there's got to be intelligent life forms out there, right? They've looked at us, they've seen us, and we are their experiment. Like, I keep hoping that, like, the Starship Titanic is going to show up outside my house one time. Bo Brovs, hello, welcome in. Thank you for triggering the monkey pack. Here's the thing, though. How do we know if there isn't already here? Yeah, they probably are. I mean, they'd be insane not to be, right? I firmly believe that, sorry, I'm getting all phlegmy for no apparent reason other than because. I firmly believe that when we started setting off nukes, that intelligent life forms in the universe were like, uh-oh, hold on. We got to get some observers in there. Because they'd want to be sure that this warmongering bunch of fools who like to blow themselves up don't get too crazy, right? Like if I was running an alien civilization, that would be my thing, right? It'd be, okay, we have to get in there and see what's going on. All right, push, get on top of that. Nope. Yeah, that's gonna fall. Okay, well, I'll come get that one later. Maybe they're Florida man. I doubt that. It's probably really obvious. Like, what about the sense of deja vu? Like, do you think the sense of deja vu might be driven by the observations of another life form? Like, they kind of jokingly made deja vu and a thing in the Matrix, but what if it really is a thing, right? I had an extreme case of deja vu while I was at my work meetings. Like, it's like, I have had this conversation, this exact conversation in front of these exact people before. And I was like, that's impossible because I just took this position. So, yeah, yeah. That could be too, Ginger, because we do all of our space launches in Florida. Maybe they're there because they're like, gotta watch them space launches. You say that, Case, but I only end up broke in video games. Now, I do know somebody that I'm like, okay, you've gone a little too far with this. They are firmly of the mind that lizard people are real and they're running the world. I'm like, okay, we probably need to have a conversation about things here. But, well, Diamondback, we all know that you have some issues, so you know we just letting that one go. Have you seen Ellen? No, she's syndicated. I don't watch that crap. I've seen the Ellen contracts. Aliens are here. Could you imagine, Ginger, if you were like, imagine like, I think aliens, if they're here, they're like, missionaries, right? Like missionaries back in the colonization times, right? A lot of times they went there because they had to, because they were told to. And then they really didn't want to be there. Could you imagine being an alien and you're like, yeah, your assignment is Earth. You're like, oh, crap, what did I do in my prior life? What are you going to do after this job? Hopefully by the time this job is over, we'll actually be able to harvest potatoes. It'll probably be next week. Every time someone comes to the farm, same conversation 10 times over. Well, that's just a farm. Oh, you're going back to a previous test checkpoint. Oh, Nix, that is awesome. The only thing is, right? Like it's after the fact. You're like, oh crap, I've had this exact same. Oh, I've already said all those words. Darn it, I could have changed it. Maybe we really are in a simulation, guys. The simulation sucks. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so now we're going to have to speed up time in the game to get it to digest the digestive quicker. Yeah, if this is the simulation, I need the hacks. Please. Oh, totally, Nix. And well, that's an interesting hovering bale, but okay, whatever, game. Thank you, game. I hope that reincarnation is a thing, because it's the only way, barring Shadowrun-esque shenanigans, that we're going to live forever, right? I just wish that we could remember our prior lives. Can someone open the simulation? I want to give @player 1 million. Yeah, exactly, Ginger. Though, you know what? I often joke with Das, like, oh, we should play the lottery. And Das is always like, well, what are we going to do if we win the lottery? And it's true, right? Like, I don't really actually want all that money. I don't want that headache. I don't want those people coming out of the woodwork going, hey, you were my friend like in 1996. Can I have $50,000, please? No, go away. So I'm like, I don't know if I really actually want all that money. The people I know that have a lot of money, most of them are jerks. Some of them aren't, but you know. Oh, but Nix, what if it's not see, my thing is, what if it's not reincarnation on this planet? What if it's universe-wide reincarnation? That's my thinking. Like, think about it. If reincarnation is a thing, that presumes that there are more souls. You can't. It's like energy, right? Cannot be created nor destroyed. So souls can't be created nor destroyed. We have more people on this planet. So, and we have more bugs. The bugs haven't been decreasing that much. So does that mean that these other souls are coming from outside of our planet? Reincarnate you to Pluto. Yeah, that works. You need to consult the fungi on this. Yeah. Yeah, money, when you end up with too much money, and whether it be Sims or real life, I'm just like, there's something missing, right? It's great because then you don't have to work, and nobody likes work. It lets you play more, but there's a limit, right? Fad, welcome in, Fadman and Fadettes. I still haven't made up a name for his followers, but yeah. You enjoy work to a point. Yeah, but you enjoy it. So is it really fully work, right? There's a difference. Like, Ginger, do you enjoy pumping out septic tanks? Like, is that like something you super enjoy? And Nix, I can't remember what you do, Nix. Do you super enjoy what you do? Maybe you do, but not many people do. So that's why I'm like, if you want a little bit of money, let you do exactly what you wanted, that would be cool. Hodge, hello. Oh, totally, Nix. Me and Das have already talked it through. If we won the lottery, we have some very specific things we would do. And then I'd set up a foundation to help people. Do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. Love what you do, and you'll very soon hate it. No, it's a true thing. Fad, how was the farming? I'm assuming. Fad, you're going to have to shut yourself out because Das is MIA again. And also, Nix, are you still streaming? I can't remember. I think you are. If Nick says that they are streaming, Fad, if you will... It doesn't work. Okay, fine. Fad, shout Nix out, please. Phoenix Cerberus. Sorry. Yeah, exactly, Ginger. But if you enjoy bits of it, but if you want enough to not have to work, and you could do the very specific things you would love to do or try your hand at, yeah. I would love to do I'd love to build furniture and sell it. I build furniture for the house, but I don't feel like it's good enough to sell. And even if somebody ordered it, like, if you were like, hey, I want two end tables. I'd be like, awesome, I can build those, but it's going to take me a long time because work. I'd love to be able to try my hand at it, right? Oh, that's the other thing I'd love to do, Nix, is because Das is an amazing cook. You can ask Fad, who has dined at Cafe Das before, that she is an amazing cook. And I would love to open up a restaurant that is focused on her recipes and where we own an apartments, some apartments above that. And I would love to get at, to like single moms who are, or women who are down and out, even men, it doesn't really matter to me, people that are homeless, and help them. Like, here's some mental help and here's a job. Don't take advantage of me because I will cut you, but Really? Get in there. What? Wouldn't you need to get mental help for yourself first? No, I'm fine. Oxygen mask on a plane. Thanks, Fad. Appreciate that. What's interesting was there was this community that me and Das were looking at potentially moving to. Turned out not to work because they couldn't provide fast enough internet for me to do my job. But it's in Washington State. And when the state legalized marijuana, of course, in the United States, money earned from marijuana trade, even legalized, you cannot deposit in a bank, in a U.S. bank, which is stupid. So what they were doing was people who ran pot places, they would take that cash and they'd open up a restaurant, and it was going to be a money loser, but it didn't matter to them. But it was basically a way for them to launder that money out legally. And the restaurants were employing former convicts and homeless people. They literally cleaned their legal money. Yep, exactly. But they were employing people that were otherwise, quote unquote, unemployable. And I was like, that is the most amazing thing. And sadly, it's so rare that people do that. Getting stuck. There we go. Oh my goodness. We're going to make a fortune at the end of the day, by the way. We'll be listening. Got to go. All right. Well, I'm going to call you Wolfman because he did the same thing to me, Fad. But yes, Fad. Thank you for the raid. Enjoy your nums, whatever they might be. Case. Yes. Come on. There we go. It's like the Gordon Ramsay thing. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Chicken and lemon risotto. Nice. Much better than whatever Wolf was eating. It was something he pulled out of the microwave. I assume it was something he sniffed up on the curbside. I mean, him being a wolf and all. Yeah, as much as people crap on Gordon Ramsay, you know what? He's doing something to change people's lives for the better. And that, to me, makes him a better person than a lot of people. Hodge, how are you doing, by the way? What have you been streaming? And Hodge, do you have if you're still around, because I saw you come in with Fad. If you're still around, have you been? Do you have the season passes for Wreckfest? Are they worth it? If you're not around, you can't answer that question. Have Nix and Ginger, because you're the ones who are talking mainly about these kind of things. Have you watched the original The Day the Earth Stood Still? Not the stupid crap that what's his face, the guy who can't act, made. Um, but the original black and white The Day the Earth Stood Still. Because to me, that movie's worth checking out because it really um, the alien that came was really doing basically what we're talking about, like behave yourself, don't be a dick. Change what I want to do with my money. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, Ginger. Yes. Uh, Canada's better at it than the United States. At least, like you doing a foundation or a system could affect a large percentage of the population. Here in the US, it would take like me and Nix and Diamondback and about 100,000 other people to make any dent here. Gives you extra cars? Okay. Because I saw it was on discount for me, Hodge. So I was kind of wondering if I should get the 2 season passes. I'm doing pretty good, Hodge. Doing pretty good. Oh, yeah, Nix, I've seen some outs from, what is it, Master Chef. Some chef show that he does with kids. And yes, the way he acts with those kids, you're like, yep, he's definitely a caring person, regardless of what he presents to adults. Though, to be honest, a lot of adults need a swift kick up the backside. Plenty of it, the adult population just sucks. Yes, that is true. Oh yes, that was my big thing. So I spent the past week in downtown Denver for work, and it was heartbreaking. It was ridiculous. The number of people that are just living on the streets, screaming at themselves or screaming at the demons that torment them, and it's just like I said earlier, we're one of the richest countries in the world, and we can't figure out how to help our own population. Awesome. But if you wanna get that new iPhone 13, 12, whatever the hell it is, yes, you are an amazing human being. A little aggressive, Nix. No, I would say that's a little under aggressive, honestly, in my mind. Don't knock that off. There we go. And yeah, Ginger, I've spent enough time in Montreal and Toronto and Vancouver to know only too well the failings of the Canadian system. Boop, boop, doop. throat punched and shoved up their nostrils. Yeah, well, that only, yeah, that works. My preference, and this is what I do when I get angry at somebody, and a lot of people think about the evil things they can do to somebody. My evil thing is I want them to break the little toe on both their feet. Now you think about that. Broken little toe on both feet. You cannot cast that toe. They will not cast a little toe. It hurts every single step you take. Try to go to bed without having your little toe touching on something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my preference for people that annoy me. I'm like, may you break both your little toes. Yeah, Hodge, I know. It's one of the sad things. Like the group of people in here, most of y'all are from three of the biggest and most industrialized first world countries, and we do such a bad job. Well, see, I wouldn't want to go that far, Diamondback. The reason being, if they break their big toe, the hope would be after they have managed to heal their little toe, once they've managed that, then maybe they'll behave themselves, right? So I always want to give people the benefit of being able to be better. I tell you, when I taught at the University of South Carolina, I had some absolutely people that I had to teach. But I always gave them the benefit that I could help them get better. I could help them become better and maybe not be such little little people that I desire to have broken little toes. That's what I'm going to go with. To be as nice as I possibly can. Speaking of little toes, I ripped off half your little toenail. Oh, that is not fun, Nix. That is not fun. Samalander, hello. Everything is fine, Samalander. Everything is indeed fine. Everything is, we're not destroying anything. I just have a large lack of something here. Intertooth, thank you for hosting the stream. How was Factorio? Did everything get Factorioed properly? We're just picking up trying to get all of our bales of silage delivered. Or processed, whatever. And we're discussing relatively heavy topics while we're doing it, because that's just what happens in this stream sometimes. So welcome in everybody with Samalander. I am Dare Tibbers. We do different things around here. I stream and my wife Doss streams here on the same channel. We do Zelda. Well, let me rephrase that. Doss does Zelda because I refuse to touch that no jumping little brat. We do simulators like we are doing right now. On Fridays, we do Fallout 4 because it makes a really cool alliteration. So we really do a variety of things here. And I do appreciate the raid. I do appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. And we do talk some deep topics. We talk about history. We talk about all kinds of things. But we do so with the platonic love as defined under the Greek concept of love, which that would involve you having been here about an hour and a half ago when we discussed about love. But whatever. We also rag on Dare pretty hard in chat. Yes, there is that. Be careful of the hyenas in my chat. I have a few of them. I found my people. I mean, how can you not do Fallout 4 Friday? Or Fallout 4 Friday. Fallout 4 Friday. I mean, it's just, how could I not? The stupid nutty things gets away with it through dumb luck. It is not luck. It is skill, Fad. Though I do always level up my luck level. It's the important thing to level up when you level up. All right, I need those bales to disappear out of the bale digester. Get out, thank you. Fallout 4 for Friday? Yes, exactly. Like, how can you not just run with that one? I will be sad when we're done with Fallout 4 because then I'm going to have to find something else and it won't alliterate. I was thinking about Sleeping Dog Saturday, but it just doesn't alliterate quite right. Factorio Friday. So that's the other thing for anybody who comes in. I rarely play new games, and the reason is I need to play the games I have. I have a library of about 1,000 games, and I have not played them all. I have made it to 61.4 games, 61.4% of games, and I want to get that number higher, so I need to finish the games. So that Factorio is not a game I own yet, so I can't play it yet because I don't own it yet, and I can't buy it until I beat more games. Oh, for the love, is it After Turn Lights? Ugh. Ah! Oh, good Lord, those lights are horrible. We're just turning them off. Just ignore it. Oh my goodness, game. Let's make it go really fast so it goes through all those bales. Okay, now the light actually makes sense. Darren's really, really excited for Farm Sim 22. Yeah. Totally excited. Thank you, Nix. Uh-oh. Fad's here. Fad's really here now. Yeah, Nix, I hate to tell you, but this is where Hypo got it. Yes. Hypo found Chicken Dance here. Chicken Dance has scarred you for life. Yeah. Am I for real? Yes. Yeah, Hypo came in here and he heard the Chicken Dance, and we kind of made him take it on in his stream. 5 times, Fad. 5 times? Shall I look up how many times you played Chicken Dance last week? Because it was several. And then Farmer Kurt was playing Baby Shark repeatedly, and Wolf was playing Baby Got Back repeatedly. My stream was a chaos for about 30 minutes of insanity. So, yeah. Yes, it was kind of a... was it chaos? Yes, it was a chaos. I make a good chew toy. Oh, the ways that could be taken, Fat. Come on, get in there. There we go. I don't think we're going to get all these in the digester before midnight. Just thinking. but we enjoy chaos. Apparently. The chaotic insanity that occurs in this stream. Whoa! Oh well. What? Where? Why? All right, well, while that's digesting, let's see if I can fix this screw up. Question, why do I still have this conveyor belt? The answer is nobody really knows why I still have a conveyor belt. I think that conveyor belt is about to go bye-bye. To convey things? I mean, yeah. I think we're, yeah. Slow that down a little bit. Thank you for the saxophone, Nix. Appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Oh, you have fireworks? What do you have fireworks over there for, Fad? Other than, oh wait, it was Guy Fawkes Day, wasn't it? Is it like the 4th of July over here where the firework fools just keep going? I'm going to get this off of the fork now that I've done this. What have I done? There. Worked it out. Within 3 months of the 5th of November. Poor doggo. You know what I learned? And I learned this in a Raven stream. Because I thought it was hilarious. And of course, you would learn this in a Raven stream. You know how we say every once in a while puppers? Like, oh, the puppers. I learned that particular pronunciation of puppers is very close to the Swedish word for boobies. And that made me laugh and giggle at the same time, because when you hear a small child go, oh, look at the puppers, you're like, that's funnier. So much funnier. Kids are dumb. So are most adults, Diamondback. So are most adults. Yeah, I mean, nobody who's been in a Raven stream would be surprised that that's where I learned that. Oh my goodness. I feel like I've been in this tractor for a very long time. I know I have been in this tractor a very long time, but, you know, whatever. But see, now you can do that in English while you're walking around. You can see a woman or even a man walking a dog, and you can say to your friends, hey, look at those puppers. And they think it's the dog. Just saying. Useful tidbit. You could also be walking your dog and say to someone, what do you think of my puppers? And there you go. Have I played Farm Together? Is that a game? What? Or do you mean play farming with Raven? because that would be funny. I actually suddenly have a thought. Oh, you just came back. So we learned in a particular stream, Ginger, that puppers, that pronunciation matches the Swedish pronunciation for boobies. Farm Together is so good. I haven't I haven't like I said, I haven't bought any new games because of my my self-imposed finish your stupid game library, you gibbon. So yeah. Boobies. Yes. So the idea was you could totally go around and walk your dog, and you could ask someone, "Hey, what do you think of my puppers?" And they think they're talking about your dog, but you could think otherwise. Oops, that was not what I wanted. I wanted the bottom of that stack. Get back up there. Here we go. Yeah, I won't even pick up freeware games right now, or even the free games that Epic keeps giving out, because I cannot add another game to my library. I made it to the first goal, which was 60%, and that was only once I got to 60%, I could get DOS the game she wanted, which was Cyberpunk, which I didn't even get a chance to she was like immediate. Once I said, "Oh yeah, I hit the goal," she was like, "Okay, done." And off she was playing Cyberpunk, and I was just like, "Okay, well, whatever." $2,200 in game. We're not going to get anywhere near complete loading of these bales. Big Mart, thank you for triggering the monkey pack. Welcome, welcome. So the big reason that we did all these bales is because, not for squirrels. It's not for squirrels. The squirrels are not involved in the bales at all. The squirrels are not involved in the bales. The reason we're doing all the bales is because then we'd have the money to buy the potato harvester. Because we need that, because we planted potatoes and we have no harvester. And we have a self-imposed limit. We cannot rent equipment on this game, on this map. We must own the equipment. Oh, good grief. Here comes Farmer Kurt. Kurt, you missed the very serious conversations we were having earlier. They were quite interesting. You plant crops or flowers, wait 20 minutes, harvest, plow, restart. Interesting. Yeah, Kurt, we were talking about all kinds of things. Then I arrived, it rapidly went in the gutter. Yep. I accidentally swallowed a bunch of Scrabble tiles. My next trip to the bathroom could spell disaster. Oh, boo, Kurt. Boo. But totally on your level, so expected. Get off my fork. Thank you. Ginger Dingus and Nix are going to be playing farm together, which kind of makes sense because it's a game that has together in the title and they're going to be farming together. Boo. Bad. Bad yolks. It's like spoiled chickens, bad yolks. Oh, $600 of animal upkeep. I didn't want to pay for animal upkeep. Initiating self-destruct sequence. You start a different conversation about food and end in disaster? Why would it end in disaster, Nix? I mean, it'd be no different than the conversations we've had about Rocky Mountain oysters on this stream. Stupid Bale. There might be war? Really? Why would there be war? Over food? There was a war fought over a bucket. Oh, and a pig once. Those conversations are kind of nuts. Boo, Kurt. Pineapple belongs on pizza. I agree. But I'm very liberal on what I allow on pizza. I am going to try when I get back to when we get back to travel. We have somebody that we hang out with around here who's from Scotland, and he has haggis pizza. Now, who wants to try haggis pizza? Because I'm going to do it.
I do.
Das does. I mean, my thing is I might as well try it, right? Put on your pizza whatever you like. Yes. The other thing I like on my pizza, which often starts war, is I like olives on my pizza. Yes, y'all were very polite in your declining your haggis pizza. You like olives on your pizza too? Nice. Yeah, see, that's why, Hodge, I want to go with Brew and get a haggis pizza, right? Because I'll try his haggis pizza. If I don't like it, then I can get something else. And he's not going to worry about it because he's going to eat it anyway, right? I wouldn't go myself and get a haggis pizza because then I might, waste it. Excuse me. Nix's, what is your go-to pizza? Chicken bacon ranch with pineapple dipped in barbecue sauce. Wow. My go-to pizza is literally whatever Das is making. I am so spoiled on. I had a pizza when this past week. I had some pizza during the team meeting, and I was like, "What is wrong with this pizza?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's not Das pizza. You." Pizza, only cheese, extra cheese with chili flakes on top. Really? Oh, look at that, guys. $175,000 from the biogas plant, and we still are not even done loading it. Good grief. Another $59,000 in other property income. Nice. It's amazing and spicy. The last pizza that Das made was pineapple pineapple, olives, mushrooms, and jalapenos. And the jalapenos come from our garden. The tomato sauce for the pizza comes from our garden. Obviously, the cheese doesn't. Though we could make the cheese because Das does know how to make mozzarella. We just live up to the hype. Yeah. It's I remember I am constantly like we were talking at work about the cost of like bread and stuff. And everyone's like, yeah, it's so high, the cost of bread and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I haven't noticed. And they're like, what do you mean you haven't noticed? It's like, well, that's because Das makes all of our bread. So I know I'm like super lucky in that respect. But it's not that hard, realistically. It's really not that hard. So even if you prefer less dense bread, yes. Well, yes, your bread can get a little bit dense at times, but that's all right. I would suggest to anybody, like, you can make your own pasta. You can make your own bread. I have faith in everybody to be able to do that. It's not like it takes super difficult tools or anything to do it. Get Das to cook, but do not ask her to, no, do not ask Das to organize anything. She can't even organize her life. All right. We are almost done with this pile. She was the one that did all the organizing on Minecraft. Exactly. Oh yeah, making homemade pasta is so fun. And you know what? People are like, "Oh, making homemade pasta takes forever," right? But once you factor in the length of time it takes to boil to cook the dried pasta garbage, it's really not that much different to get a very, very much better pasta. Yeah, Das doesn't know what being in sync with time or day is. Like, don't ever ask Das what time. I'm constantly like, you do realize you're streaming today? And she'll be like, okay. You do realize you're streaming in like 10 minutes, right? Okay. You do realize you're streaming in 60 seconds, right? Really? I thought it was like 20 minutes from now. So, Ginger, we've got someone who comes into chat once in a while. In fact, they are supposed to be my farm help next week. Don't know if they will be, but they batch cook huge amounts, and so they'll have a day off, and that's what they do. They'll spend the day batch cooking and freezing, and then they always have that food that they've home cooked, but they've got it batch cooked and frozen, and yeah, they swear by that. Poor Das. Yeah, well, you should ask Das how many alarms she has to go to sleep, Nix. Who's the worst organizer? Das or Stocko doesn't organize anything. Meal prep. Yeah, meal prep is tough. That's yeah. I hear you there, Ginger. Alarms to go to sleep. You don't understand, Case. You don't understand. Serenar, we were just talking about you, and here you are. Oh, yeah, don't ask us what happens when she's playing Cyberpunk, because no sleep happens if she's playing Cyberpunk. Yes, we were just talking about you, Serenar, and here you come. Ginger was talking about being away from home. We were saying, hey, we know someone who batch cooks all the time. And I think you do meal planning too, which Nyx is interested in. Das doesn't know what a routine is, Ginger. Like, there is no... So, a lot of people live in a temporal time. We live in our normal temporal time. Well, normal for most of us, right? Well, Das lives her life, it's activity-based, which is a separate temporal thing that is often encountered, especially in Spain and Latin America. That's how she lives her life. It's items stacked together. So routines don't really work for her. At least that I've seen. So, yes, squirrels are a big problem with Das. Shiny squirrel runs across the yard. There she goes. But then the squirrel janks left, but something else shiny is to the right, and off she goes to the right. Exactly, squirrel. That's why that's on here. Yeah, I read a great book about how temporal the way people use temporality or time in different countries and different cultures. And I read the book and I was like, I now fully understand Das. I mean, not fully. You can never fully understand her, but I can at least understand some of the struggles she has. So, no, don't fall. Stupid stack. Yeah, I will, Fad. You might have to remind me, but I'll have to go downstairs and look it up. It's somewhere downstairs. Merlin, hello, welcome in. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed all of it. Fad is here, so he's still unable to get most things done without Hitman's help. Microwave eggs. Oh my goodness. Anyone want to know about microwave eggs? You can ask Das about microwaving eggs. You started reading Dune. Oh my goodness, Sarah. I tried to read Dune. I tried. I mean, I finished it, but that was not a book I enjoyed. Hopefully that'll fall in there. So anyone who want to knows Das's struggle, you just have to read what she just put in there, because that is the everyday around here. Like I will find half done projects all over the house, and it's just like, she got distracted again. It's just something you accepted. Oh, that's right. Hitman and Fad are back on YouTube. So if you want to catch out Hitman and Fad, they are on YouTube. They asked me to join, but I'll be so busy. I feel like Nyx and Serenar and Ginger need a channel on Discord for and Diamondback need a channel for like meal prep helpers. You can help each other out. You stupid Bale. Batch cooking channel, yes please. Can be done. Yeah. It's called Food Stuff, I think. There's a recipe channel. Yeah, but I think batch cooking is very different, right, Das? Like, to batch cook properly, you have to have a recipe that's going to hold up, right? Because you can't make, like... You can't really batch cook flan. I guess you could, but... Nor would you actually want to batch cook flan, but that's a very different conversation altogether about batch cooking flan. Yeah, our last soups did not freeze well. It's fine. You have the taste palate of a 5-year-old, so no vegetables. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. My stepmom refuses to eat vegetables unless they are jalapenos or other peppers. Which I always find funny. Doesn't eat vegetables, only potatoes. Nice. Yeah. There's a lot of people like that, right? Like, I had a roommate for a while, and she was like meat and potatoes. You presented a salad to her at your own peril. Her boyfriend used to do that from time to time, and it was hilarious. He'd be like, "Oh, I made dinner," and he'd put a salad in front of her, and it was like, "Oh, yeah, I know where this is going." There was often you'd go pick up the salad fork out of the backyard because that's where the salad went. But, you know. If I had to cook for myself, I'd live on grilled cheese, Pop-Tarts, pizza, and burgers. Yeah. That texture thing. Like my roommate, she had a texture thing too. A lot of people I know have that texture thing, and I'm just like, I don't really understand, nor do I not understand. I realize that sounds weird, but just like, I mean, granted, I have eaten Rocky Mountain oysters, which those who don't know what a Rocky Mountain oyster is, that is fried bull testicle. And I've had flan, which a lot of people don't like flan because they say it feels like snot. I didn't get that feeling, but whatever. Awesome, Merlin. I'm glad you got into building computers. It's a great skill to have. Yeah, worse than celery? What's worse than celery, Serenar? Rocky Mountain oysters? You don't need enough snot. I am not eating snot. No, thank you. I love food from different cultures. One of the things I absolutely love, the year before the world ended, so 2019, in the before times, I got the chance to go to Doha, and I loved trying the new food, the different foods at the place we were working at. We used to have a neighbor from Nepal. That was amazing. Eating the Nepalese food. And I still miss a good dal. Ah, so good. And you can't get it anywhere else. You can't go to a store and buy it because it's not good. You like raw tomatoes but can't eat cooked ones. Interesting. Interesting. You would explode if you went to Qatar? Why is that? Why would you explode, Serenar? I know where you would really explode in the terms of eating way too much food, Serenar, and that would be going to Japan. Speaking of which, I had sushi yesterday. I didn't eat dinner last night. I realized that about 10 p.m. I was like, didn't eat dinner. Oh, well. Oh, it's too dang hot. Well, yeah, it was kind of hot. When I was there, it was winter, so the highs were 110 Fahrenheit, whatever that is in your local currency. Okay, we finally finished all of the bales. It took way too long. And now I bet my sugar is overflowing. Oh, we could bring up turducken with Vam. Yes, our Dutch friend who is bothered by turducken. How about onions, Nix? How are you with onions? Are you a big onion person? I know a lot of people who really don't like onions. But all they've had are like the regular white or red onions. Where I grew up in the great city of Walla Walla, Washington. Yes, it's a real city. And no, we did not have the wishy-washy washing machine company in Walla Walla, Washington. So, bleh. They grew Walla Walla sweet onions. Now, you could eat a Walla Walla sweet onion like an apple. Or what we used to do is we'd get the sweet onion, you'd cut it, the big ring of it, and you'd throw it on a sandwich. A little bit of salt and pepper. Usually some mayonnaise. That was good eating. Come back from Japan bankrupt and fat. Nom's out of the oven time. All right, enjoy your lemon and chicken risotto, Fad. Walla Walla. It's W-A-L-L-A, W-A-L-L-A. People think it's just they think it's a joke from the wishy-washy washing machine company of Walla Walla, Washington. All right, that's probably 99%. Okay, which one of these is the full one? Oh, okay, that's the one that's not full. Okay, good. Good Looney Tunes joke. Yes, yes, yes. All right, I cannot do that inside the tractor. Because what I want to do is pick it, stack it, and then take both of these out of here at once. Because it's right on the edge of what the Manitou can manage. The real question is, was Dare the only wacky Wally of Walla Walla, Washington? No. It's a nice little town. I'd live there again, except for it's super expensive now because Californians keep moving in. I need to make this straighten out. So we are almost Serenar. We've almost completely removed one mountain of sugar beets. Mr. S says he wants to move to Boulder. That's a bad, bad plan. I hope you have a lot of money, Serenar. I'll go ahead and tell you the median home price in Boulder, Colorado, and I know this because they are a neighboring town to ours, is $1.25 million. The burned out meth house in Boulder, Colorado, sold at auction for, and I am not joking, $875,000. Ridiculous town. There are much better places to live in Colorado than Boulder. Yes, exactly. Boulder, Colorado, 10 square miles of town, surrounded by reality. Yep, pretty much. All right, is this the full one? No, this is the full one back here. Okay, which one is the full one then, game? That one's the full one. Okay, thank you. All right, Ginger, take care. Hope you feel better, and we look forward to seeing you again. And we are a group of goons. That is very true. But that's okay. We live it and love it. And we don't get loves ever. Because why would you buy baby diapers? That's weird. You could afford a Boulder and Boulder. That's probably true. All right, we learned a lesson. We have to deliver the molasses to the plant here. Does it go in here? Yes, it does. Boom. All right, so now this plant can make superfeed. All right, so we got the superfeed company going. What was that? A group of Goonies? Yes. Let's go with that. What do I need? Do I need one more? No. I need several more stacks of sugar. Okay, good. All right, that's done. That's done. Oh, my goodness. I love onions. Weird fact. Went through eating raw onions like apples. Nice. Yeah, the Walla Walla sweet onions, that was the big thing. Like we always ate those just like an apple. They're just so tasty. How are we doing here? Yeah, we're low on sugar beets, but I do not feel like loading up on sugar beets right now. Oops. Okay, we need to do a couple things real quick. I need this other tractor. All right, we're almost done, but pickled onions right out of a jar. Oh, we're not talking about pickled, Sarah. Now we're talking about raw. The good old raw onion. Pickled onions a thing in the U.S.? Yeah. We pickle everything, Sarah. Pickled pig's feet, pickled pig's tails, pickled sheep testicles. Come on, Serenar. Yeah, pickled eggs. Yeah, pickled pig snout. There's a lot of pickled pig parts, and I think it's a literary. People are like, ooh, banana peppers. Yes, yes. There's that too. So, Serenar's gonna stop talking. No, Serenar's gonna come over and visit, and we're gonna go take her on a delicacy run. We'll go and go all of the all the delicacies we have around here. You had an obsession with banana peppers. Any particular reason why, Serenar? Was it because of the name banana? Because banana is a fun name to say. What about pickled pickles? Yes. Double pickle your pickles. The roommate I referenced earlier had a thing about bee because she liked bee as a word. Thought it was great. What are banana peppers anyway? Peppers that they do actually kind of look like a banana. Pickled okra? Oh, yes. Pickled okra. That spicy pickled okra that we used to pick up. Can I come along to watch Serenar try American delicacies? Maybe. Maybe we could live stream it. Serenar, what do you think about that? You want to live stream trying American delicacies? It'll be Devil's Wafer all over again. Pickled radish pods. Yeah, you pickled the radish pods. I did not care for pickled radish pods. Serenar, have you ever had deep fried ice cream? Because that would be something we could find. You're intrigued, yes. Very nice, Merlin. I'm glad that you have expanded your abilities to include building computers. It's always good to have another thing you can do. Too much pickled stuff for you. Fair enough. Okay, I got that field done. Ah, got stuck. Used to eat jarred banana peppers and jalapeno peppers. Oh yes, yeah, that'd do it to you. They're delicious, but they'll sneak up on you, won't they, Nix? I don't think it's gross. You just made a mistake. Oh, frog legs. What are you, French? What are you, French, Case? First, you want to take me for a walk up a mountain where there are murderous lions and other murderous animals. Now you want to feel all sort of unmentionable pickled animals. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, someone got attacked by a mountain lion in an RV park again. Always good. Back the boys playing an intense game of AoE. How do you typically go about pickling stuff? Is it just vinegar? There's mainly vinegar and then some, you add in some pickling spices. Find a groundhog. Squirrels too, Case. We can always make some squirrel stew for Serenar. Ugh, dill. Somebody, I won't name names, Das, planted a load of dill and I had to friggin' weed the dill and the world smelled like pickles for a week. You're all horrible to me. We're not horrible, Sarah. We're trying to introduce you to culinary things you can take back to England and then you can become the next Gordon Ramsay because you can introduce all this wonderful food to the rest of the Welsh and English. Hot Korean ramen. So my dad and my stepmom are big into spicy foods. Of course, I mean, for her, it's cultural. She's from Mexico. But I'm just like, no, if my nose has run away with all of the snot in my head, no. Yes, Das makes spicy food, and I'm like, okay, go get me the salsa, because just this direction, apparently I have not sprayed. Yes, dill. I am not a fan of dill. It's super spicy, puts in a drop of hot sauce. No. I mean, the one time I love like the super, super spicy stuff. Whenever I have like sinus infection or a head cold or something, oh man, I'm all in on spicy. Like clears out your sinuses. If I have a sinus headache, yes, please give me like, I had a sinus headache one day this past week, and the hotel I was staying at made a pickled habanero burger, and I was like, yes, please. And that, along with a generous bit of hot sauce, that cleared out my sinuses right quick. Goodbye, sinus headache. Yeah, we can totally do that, Das. I'll make sure to have milk standing by, but yeah. Guyanese. I have a coworker who, when her last kid goes away to college, she is moving to Guyana. And she has talked about the food. And now you've made me want Guyanese food. Tea tree menthol steamboat. Yeah, but Sarah, it's so much better to eat it. If you want to share any recipes, Ginger, put them in Discord. Das has done... we used to have somebody in the stream all the time from Macedonia, and I actually worked with some people from Macedonia. So Das has tried several Macedonian recipes. So yeah, we are always willing to try recipes. Nepalese restaurant. So the neighbor we had from Nepal, her dal was never really that spicy. I feel like a lot of restaurants kind of go the wrong direction. So Mexican food, by and large, is not super spicy, right? Tex-Mex food is stupid spicy. Oh yeah, yeah. You want the taste, Serenar. That's totally what we. I get that, but I like. It's a good medicinal, right? If you have a sinus infection, there's a couple things that, or like a sinus backup. Um, they say go to the sea because the salt actually will help break down um, the goop in your head, snot. Will help break down the snot in your head, but also the spicy food because it has capsaicin in it, and the same reason they put like capsaicin rubs on people who have sore muscles and stuff. The capsaicin causes a change in the blood flow. So for your nose, it'll also cause all the snot to come out. So it's good for that. Sheep's brain sandwiches. Yeah, they don't serve that anymore. Yeah, I had a sinus thing one time, and we were going to Hawaii. It was the best thing. I was like, I don't care. I'll take whatever I need to get there, but I'm not going to do any antibiotics or anything. And the doctor was like, yeah, but you've got this could turn into a sinus infection. I was like, that's all right. I'm going to Hawaii. Went to Hawaii and yep, hanging out on the coast with the sea breeze and the salt air and yep, gone. No sinus problems. Love it. Ginger and garlic for a week. Seriously, Ginger, when Das makes dal, it smells like an Indian restaurant in here for like 3 weeks. And then everything is stained with turmeric as well. So that's perfectly normal in this house for things to smell different for a week. Wait a minute. Did this just... Well, that was... I forgot I had the speed on high. Oh, well. All right, well, that's not going to have as much yield as the others, but whatever. No, it didn't die. It's now ready to harvest. But that will work out really, really well because what we're going to do is park up our tractor. Yes, derpity derp derp derp. First thing we got to do is we have to buy a potato harvester. I am not going to give Serenar a brand new potato harvester. She gets a used one. So one used potato harvester for most of our monies. All right. There's an old sandwich stuck under the seat. Ew, yeah, pretty much. So this worked out really well. So we hope, I have to pack up my mods and ship them to Serenar, digitally, of course. Hopefully next week Serenar will be able to join us and be my my hired hand. I hate to tell you, Serenar, but I pay in pickled pig's feet. But we're going to harvest potatoes. So There's a lot of potatoes to harvest. It's going to be much like the disaster that was the sugar beet harvest, I am sure. And I have a potato washing plant and sorting plant ready and waiting. Oh my goodness, yes. My sister gave Das fermenting supplies, so I am going to expect a lot of fermented product in this house. This ought to be interesting. I'm trying to take this to the repair yard because it's going to need repairs. And we're just going to cut across the field. Have the urge to plant crops. Well, we're probably going to move on here in a minute as soon as I get this thing all the way across the field. But thank you for hanging out, Nix. This was fun. We'll get this thing in here and get it repaired. That. Yes, it was a good conversation, and I appreciate it from everybody. Ready? What are we doing? I am calling it here for now because the potatoes are ready to be harvested, and I need my employee. But before I do this, I'm going to repay my loan. Apparently have a $200,000 loan. We're going to repay it. We go. We have $88,000, but we repaid a loan, so I'm happy with that. All right, let me save the game. All right, and then where's my? There it is. Nope, that's definitely not. There, that's what I was going for. And then I need to make this go away. There we go. Thank you all very, very much. I do appreciate it. I appreciated the amazing conversations. The raid from Fad and Salamander, all the follows, and Jimmy for the resub. I appreciate that. And next week, we hope to have Saranar in here to be my hired help. I am paying her in pickled pig's feet so that we can harvest all the potatoes. And Das will be back. No, Das will not be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're not going to be able to stream. We have an appointment. I will be back on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. I don't know what I'm playing yet. I have no idea. It'll be something random out of my library. I only have like 400 more games to go, so it'll be something. Das will be back on Thursday with Legend of Zelda something Skyward Sword. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. And then I will be back on Friday with Fallout 4 because, it's alliterative and we need that. Skyward Sword? I think that's what I said. We are going to... I think Farm Sim to Farm Sim makes sense. Let's go raid the wolf. The wolf is playing the farming and wolfing along, I'm sure. So I will see you on Tuesday. Das will see you on Thursday. And we'll try to get back into a normal swing of things again. Until then, take care, everybody.